Y'all already know what time it is. We back in the building.
We back.
Episode something.
This is 9.
It's still 7.
8. It's still 6.
It's still 6. Episode 6 for the 12th week. Benny, you know, it's funny, true story. I actually produced that beat for Benny the Butcher. So, yeah, just
here you
I
go.
produced. So, Benny, if you're listening, I'm glad. I wish you more success. You know, great album,
Shout
Burden
out
of
to
Proof.
Griselda.
Yeah. So, just wanted to let y'all know that. Episode 9. Episode
8.
9.
Episode
This
8.
dude off the air, man.
This is episode. This is 9.
It's 8.
This is 9.
It's 8.
It's 9.
It's
9.
9?
Yeah,
It's
man,
not.
you ain't been in the studio,
yeah,
so
you-
like
you've been out too
time
long,
time
bro.
is different for you. We understand.
I mean, it's like that.
Episode 9. Episode 9. So listen. Well, do we need to do introductions?
Yeah, let's get
You
these
know.
introductions out the way. We're going to start off-site with Jamal.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Episode 9. It's Jamal Coleman. At Jamal R. Coleman on all platforms. Y'all know what it is, baby. Episode 9. Let's get it.
Hey, it's your boy, Blake. Follow me, you know, usual suspects, Clubhouse, Blizzy_Rogers, Twitter _Blizzy_Rogers, and Instagram, Blake_Alexander.
What's up? It's your boy, Shelt Davis. Follow me on Shelt Davis on Instagram. Let's get it.
And I'm David Ruffin, and these are the Temptations.
Are you
So
sure
excited to do another episode.
Yeah, which Shelton Davis
Chill,
have we
bro.
followed?
Yeah, which show
Anyway,
Yeah, do we?
Let's
Let's
not-
just
no,
start the show
no.
off with a formal
no,
apology
No.
I think
Yeah, man.
from Shelton
Oh my
Davis.
God.
Hey, it's either an apology for now or an apology next
Yeah,
week. for you not on the
listen.
show.
It's either that or you're on unpaid leave. So pick one.
And the people are gonna want
Hey,
to know why it's a white person sitting here
I'll
next week if you don't apologize. Like,
Oh, y'all
Shelton
funny,
sick.
bro. Chill, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, apologize for anybody that's gotten messages from my old Facebook page. It's been hacked, so if you've got any messages about being part of a scam or anything like that, I apologize. It's taken care of by the authorities, so just have to get that up.
All right, so can we talk? Never mind. I don't even want
No, this makes for good TV.
No, it doesn't.
So-
that's it.
You know, so basically,
It's an ongoing
Investigation.
We can't speak on it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, in Shelton's spare time, he thinks he's Bernie Madoff.
No, I do not. Anyway.
Bruh, this
The original Ponzi himself.
And no.
Just kidding.
Anyway,
Sheldon's a good
yeah.
guy. Just simple, but he's a good guy. All-Star Weekend. I'll be honest with you, I'm over it. Last night, I saw the game. I saw the dunk contest.
Not good.
I'm over it, man. And I said this on the last episode. I'm just at the point where it's not fun anymore to watch. I mean, the game itself is fun, I guess, because there's different things that you can do throughout the game that can be exciting. But the competitions are like watching Sabonis and Vucevic do a skills competition. I mean, it's like in the dunk contest, we've seen all those same dunks since 2000. And it's like, I just at a point now where it's just not exciting. I mean, it's so heavily controlled by the players union and guys don't want to do anything. I mean, it's just, I'm over it.
I think it would have been better had the judges, you know, kind of set the bad precedent right off the bat when they gave Cassius Stanley that weak
That's
score on
terrible.
That
That
dunk.
was terrible.
That was easily the best dunk of the first round.
Easily.
And, you know, after that, you could tell he was kind of like demotivated.
Obi Toppin skated to the final. I didn't see an impressive dunk from him the whole time. I thought it should have been Cassius and Anthony. Now that dunk that he did where he like fake kissed or kissed her, that was tough though.
Yeah.
And they're like, he should have kissed the rim. I'm like, nigga, ain't
Right.
none of y'all been this high before. Shut up.
I'm not trying to lose a tooth.
Yeah, like, come on, man. That's not like, but yeah. So I mean, I just think, first of all, I didn't think they should have even had the events this year. It was awkward watching
all.
them stand there and there's no crowd and they're like standing there waving at what, you know. And then I just think even the players themselves will probably tell you that. I mean, they already said that they just weren't. Their mind wasn't really there to be doing All-Star Weekend. You know what I'm saying? All-Star Weekend, I think part of All-Star Weekend is the fanfare. I mean, that's a big part of it.
Right.
Who's going to be there? You got, I mean, one of the most iconic pictures is a picture with a nigga in the crowd standing up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, Drake. So I feel like that's a part of All-Star Weekend is the fans. And to not be able to have them there, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of a waste.
I will say this though, it needed to happen because there's a lot of contract incentives on the players to who gets elected to All-Star games. There's a check in there for them, so it needed to happen. And I mean, it's a money grab. You know, the NBA already lost money. I understand why they did it, but it was just rushed. I remember watching it. I was at my apartment watching it, and I was like, "This has got to be the most rushed dunk contest I've ever seen."
It was awkward. It was awkward.
Yeah, they did it at halftime, which was extremely weird.
And then they had Anthony Hamilton come in and do a music video
At the
right
end.
after it, and I was just like, I appreciate Anthony Hamilton, but like, why? Like, why
Yeah.
was this the place for him to do a music video?
This wasn't your platform, my brother.
Right.
I guess to me, I didn't really.
Go ahead, Jason.
No,
I'm uninterested in all of All-Star Weekend. Like I'm over it. Like they're gonna have to find, and I commend the NBA for trying new ways to try to get people involved. Like they went from East versus West to like this captain format to others to like Chuck and Shaq picking their own teams and placing money against it to charities and stuff like that. Like I commend them for trying and listening to fans every year, but there's really not much else you can do. Like unless they're gonna start incorporating things like King of the Court or something like that. Like I really don't. I don't care to see Steph Curry bust everybody ass in the 3-point contest. The stars aren't doing the dunk contest, and the game itself is just an open exhibition for whoever can score the most.
But I
And
think
there's no defense. So
Exactly.
so you're just watching people that are being allowed.
Yeah.
I mean, the first quarter, it was literally back-to-back 3-point. People were just shooting every possession down. They're just
And
shooting.
Steph Curry and Damian Lillard are just crossing the half-court line and just heaving shit. Like, this isn't
Jason
basketball.
Tatum was. I was like, bro, you don't even like.
Shoot three like that.
Like you're not even a 3-point
but
shooter.
I actually thought some of the highlights of that game was Dame and Steph kind of just pulling deep from deep. I mean, the shot that Dame took,
To end the game.
not the end of the game. It was the one before that. He was actually beat. He was in front of the half court line. Like he took that in the back court. That was actually pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie.
This is my only. I agree. This is my only thing about it though. As Jason rolls up, this is my only thing. My only thing about it.
Why you snitching, bro?
Right.
for the
Man's off camera.
Right.
for the podcast listeners out
Yeah,
there, now
yeah.
there's a visual for you too. You know.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah.
You know. But this is my only thing. Like it's not like back when I don't care that they can shoot from half court. Like that's what they can do. That's what they can do. We know they can do that. Now when you go back to when T-Mac threw it off the clock, or was it T-Mac or VC? It was T-Mac.
I think
it was VC.
I think it was T-Mac.
I think it was team.
It might have.
I don't know. They might have both did it. Hell,
They're cousins. They're related.
When that happened, like those are moments that I feel like we've gotten in an All-Star game pretty consistently. But I feel like now, I think shooting is like the thing when you can't do anything else really. Like they're like guys aren't even trying to. Like I feel like players should come together before the All-Star game and talk about what's some stuff that we want to do in the All-Star game. You know what I mean? Like, what is some stuff we want to do to make this interesting? I guess I'm just not a huge... Like, the shooting from deep is not really a big thing to me because Steph's been shooting from deep for years now. I mean, Dame's been shooting for deep. You know what I'm saying? So, like...
Right.
It's just, I guess I'm at that point where it's like I need something else to entertain me. And I used to always get irritated with my dad would kind of be like, yeah, whatever, because I'm thinking it's All-Star Weekend, we gotta watch. And he's like, sure, you know what I mean. But now I'm like at that point where I'm like,
You're the cranky old man.
yeah, I'm kind of like
whatever.
him. Like I don't really see the need anymore until they start to incorporate some better events, I guess.
And I guess my thing is more of I think that we've been spoiled as fans, as like this generation of basketball that we've grown up with has been some of the greatest athletes of all time, some of the greatest shooters of all time. I just think that we're just numb. Like you're gonna have to, Blake Griffin jumped over the hood of a car and we weren't impressed. You know what I mean? Like
He won that
you're gonna
thing,
have to
right?
do something crazy to get the fans back engaged. Like you got to think of new ways. And until then, just name an all-star and don't play the game. Like no one cares.
I think the King of the Court would be a good idea because
It
it's
won't
like
do that though. It's too much red tape.
What is that?
Somebody gets hurt.
so King of the Court is basically just like 1-on-1. So it's like
Yeah.
everybody lines up, a baseline or whatever, and you're just basically playing 1-on-1. And each time you score, like if I score on you, it goes to the next person in line. And the next person tries to guard me. If they stop me from scoring,
Their turn on
then
offense.
it's their turn on offense.
Okay.
And I think it should start with who's ever leading the league in scoring that year.
Well,
I think it would be good because ego
Yeah, I
gets
agree.
involved. Like that's the only event that people are really gonna try at because you're not gonna
Yeah,
let
it's to
Devin Booker
compare.
bust you for 30.
that's
Sure.
because that's
Because that's the only time you're gonna get guys playing defense too.
But that's the thing too. I thought about as we were talking about this last week. I kind of thought later on. I was like, well, just like I said, the red tape because they're gonna be trying to protect their guys. So King of the Court can get so competitive that if somebody gets hurt on All-Star Weekend during a King of the Court,
Yeah,
that's
but how
just so much.
How often do you get hurt during King of the Court though? I haven't really.
Civilians a lot. Now them I don't know, but I mean Jamal gets hurt every time he comes down from a rebound. So
that's not true. I hurt someone every time.
but no, I just think that they're just looking like, hey, we want to keep it competitive, but we don't want it to be like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times too, players don't want to do stuff. I mean, the players' union is what kind of runs it. You know what I'm saying? So I think they just don't really want to do stuff. They want to show up and let's get this money, let's get our incentives, and let's go home. You know what I mean? Like that's why the stars don't do the stuff because they're like, bro, I don't feel like doing no dunk contest. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's unnecessary pressure for them.
Right.
Whereas the younger guys, they're chomping at the bit to get some sort of recognition.
Yeah.
I mean, think about everybody that's in the dunk contest that next year. I mean, you kind of know who they are, and you watch them from game to game. So it's kind of like if you're already a household name, you don't care about the dunk contest. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't care. So I just think it's just, I don't know.
Which I think, as it pertains to the young guys, I don't know about y'all, but I want to see the rookie versus sophomore game again. This USA versus World crap
is awful.
Yeah, I'm over it. It's either it's either Luka Doncic and every European kid that came out against a bunch of random Kentucky 5 guys, or it's Zion Williamson and every top 5 player that came out against a bunch of people that we don't know.
Yeah.
So just bring sophomore versus rookie game back, man. That was more exciting. That's when Kyrie was crossed up, Brandon Knight. Those games.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's probably the one thing that's not gonna change though.
The world.
Say it again, Blake.
That's probably the one
FIBA
thing that's
thing.
not gonna change because the game is so global that there's probably a lot of people tuning in to see that.
That's the crazy.
Well, then do both the games and get rid of the damn skills challenge.
Yeah,
I don't want to see
the skills thing.
Joel Embiid dribble, weave through traffic. Like what?
Now the one thing I do think that's kind of cool is when they do at the end of the skills thing where say it's like Clyde Drexler, Aja Wilson, and I don't know Bradley Beal, and they trying to shoot from
half court.
Yeah, half. Like
They
that's
don't- they
kind
don't
of
do
cool
it
to
anymore,
watch.
do they?
No, they don't do that part no more.
They don't do that anymore. But that was fun to watch because it incorporated all different types of players, legends, women, men, and so. But they take the fun stuff away. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's we want to see stuff like that. We don't want to watch the same freaking. I'll be honest with you. The 3-point contest to me is a waste of time.
Yeah, because everybody's a shooter now.
Yeah, like everybody.
Yeah.
And then if Steph's in it,
You want to see who's the best, though. I mean, but we kind of already know.
I mean,
It's the same guy over and over.
Yeah,
Steph or Clay.
Steph is lost though.
Yeah, but he lost to Clay.
Oh, did
Yeah,
he?
he lost to his
He
team.
lost to the other guy. That was the best.
The
in
second
league.
best shooter of all time.
I mean, it's just, and then Mike Conley. I mean, Mike Conley almost winning was like the story. You know what I'm saying? Like no one, but he didn't win. So it's just like who cares?
That's probably the last highlight.
Really quick before we get deep into this, I want to just say what's up to Mr. Frierson. Best dunker is definitely Vince Carter. I can't give it to Dr. J.
Kenneth
It's definitely Vince
Frierson
Carter.
Jr. My pops. Good to see you, sir.
Yeah, Sheldon, it's not Ken.
He said, best dunker, Vince Carter or Dr. J. Listen, Vince Carter dunked over a 7-footer.
With ease.
So I don't know how you can compete with that. And I know Dr. J went behind the backboard in the 30s, but, that was then and this is now. So I just, I say Vince Carter. I say Vince Carter dunking. Him dunking over that 7-footer to me was way.
I'll say each in their generation, they were the best dunker, but I'm gonna give the nod to Vince.
I mean, and granted, I didn't watch enough Dr. J to be able to see what he did. So whatever. I didn't watch Dr. J, but I tell you right now, Dr. J didn't dunk over nobody that was 7 foot. Tell you that right now.
I ain't never seen Dr. J throw it through his legs or put his arm in the rim and none of that other stuff.
I mean, VC just did some freaky things. Yeah. I mean, he just did some crazy
creativity
stuff.
alone is VC.
Yeah, but that's a good question. Yeah. That's a good question. But yeah, I think next year, and then the team. And is it just me or does Team LeBron and does it seem like the teams are always rigged? Like, how does one side always have terror? Like, I don't get it. How does one team pick so awfully?
Lost. Well, LeBron knows how to draft better than Giannis.
It's an all-star game. How do you not pick?
Well, it did help that Kevin wasn't in it. It helped that Kevin wasn't in it.
Well, I will say, Giannis, when Giannis was captain, this man was just trying to get everybody that wasn't from America. It was just so he was drafting Luka, he was drafting Jokic, he was drafting Joel Embiid,
and regular season play, not in the All-Star.
Yeah, and LeBron was like, okay, well then I'll just take Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Damian. I'll take all these guys.
real quick, Mr. Frierson said Dr. J has a ring, Vince has nothing, and Dr. J has 5 ABA rings. Well, I mean, Dr. J is probably the better player, but. I would argue Dr. J is the better player, but I would say...
Sure?
Yeah, Mr. Frierson, you asked Dunker.
You said you don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That Dr. J is not a better player than Vince Carter? Yeah, he is.
I'll give Dr. J the nod over Vince Carter as a player.
What the heck did Vince Carter do? Nothing.
Well, he's going to be...
He had multiple seasons where he put up 28, 29, 30 a game, right?
I mean, Dr. J did that too, though. But regardless, I'll give Dr. J that. But yeah, I just think the teams the way they're picking the teams, I think all of that is just, I'm over it. I'm tired of it. I don't want to see it anymore, honestly. If they just decided to not do, it, I honestly wouldn't care. But I think, like you said, pick the All-Stars. Just pick the All-Stars and resume regular season play.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Do what they did for Madden. Just play it on 2K and make it televised and just keep it moving.
And I'll be honest with you. And I know this is a small sample size. It may not be big enough to make a difference, but I'm gonna tell you right now, these snubs, with
oh my God,
Devin Booker.
Time out. Yeah, he did get his dunk on a 7-footer. This kind of nasty right here.
Who, Dr. J?
Yeah. Blake had to pull the tape.
Look. Yeah, man, they can't see that.
No, I'm showing us.
Yeah, he's nice. I still got VC though. But I think these snubs like Devin Booker and Bradley Beal, you're taking whole cities, states, in my opinion, that are supporting their team, their guys, and you're snubbing them for really no reason. And I think it's going to affect viewership because if we have a guy in Detroit, say we got a guy in Detroit that we're proud that he became an all-star and he's perennially an all-star in his play. And he never gets picked. Bro, I'm not watching the All-Star. I'm not watching it. Right. For what? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Why? You're not even showing respect to the guy from our team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel like they're shooting themselves in the foot with that.
Let me ask you. Jeremy Grant was playing at an All-Star all season, pretty much. Yeah. He was at All-Star level.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Sheldon, as a Pistons fan, did that make you not want to watch the All-Star game that he got picked?
No.
Okay.
Define All-Star level.
He's averaged 25 a game
all season.
What is the Pistons record?
I mean, they got the worst record,
but that has nothing to do with
All-Star is individual.
On the flip side, though,
what's Zach LaVine's record?
DeMarcus Cousins,
he's different.
DeMarcus Cousins in Sacramento was averaging 28 and 15, and Sacramento was one of the worst teams in the league. But doesn't mean he wasn't an All-Star.
But here's my thing though. On the flip side of that, the Pistons had 4 guys from that 04 team that made the All-Star game. I mean, you can't say Jeremy Grant, but then you let Chauncey, Tayshaun, and Rip and Ben in. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't all-stars. Like,
Huh?
Trae Young.
dude,
Oh.
Rip Hamilton was not an all-star.
Yeah, he was.
Yes, he was.
No.
Oh,
Tayshaun,
my God.
Tayshaun Prince was not an all-star.
He was the only one that didn't make it. You're right. He didn't make it.
Ben wasn't.
Oh.
Ben was an all-star. But I
Give me Ben Wallace and Chauncey. That was and Sheed, and that was it.
What?
You could have kept Rip. You could have kept Tayshaun.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if we're gonna, Jeremy Grant is better than, if we're just going by numbers right now. He's better than Tayshaun. He's better than, you know what I'm saying, Rip.
But my thing is Jeremy Grant right now is averaging 23, 5, and 3 on a losing team. Like that's not enough. Like if you're going to be on a losing team, it needs to be you almost averaging.
Trae Young.
But Trae Young didn't make the All-Star game.
Trae
Young's averaging what, 30?
27.
27?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's every case is the same. I'm
we're just saying
that winning teams are going to get more All-Star. But look at Utah.
But the Suns,
the fact that
Suns are a winning team.
They replace Devin Booker, and then Mike Conley is the one that ends up in it.
Yeah.
Who did you want to see instead of Mike Conley?
It's not about who I wanted to see. I think DeMar DeRozan's having a better season than Mike Conley.
Man,
but because Utah has the best record in the NBA, Mike Conley got the nod.
I'm not mad at that because Mike Conley's never been an All-Star, and he's
he deserves it. And I'm not saying that he doesn't.
But he
I'm
got
just
it
saying
off a technicality.
That's that best record nod.
That's still foul that they gave it to him off some. Oh yeah, well we're not gonna put.
Well, Devin Booker got it off a technicality too.
When?
You got a what?
Last year.
Oh yeah.
When when AD got hurt.
When AD couldn't play.
When AD couldn't play, he got in because of that.
I honestly think that if you're going to have the Phoenix Suns in the All-Star game, any Phoenix Sun, it should have been Devin Booker, the leading scorer.
No.
How did we just skip over him and go right to Chris Paul?
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
Some of these guys is just it's a career award more than it is
it's
who's
a popularity
an All-Star
contest.
that year.
They're letting the fans dictate it.
And that's what I'm saying. But
I know it's a fans.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they're
that's my main
fans, but
point.
like they got too much input on who gets there or not.
Yeah, that's my point. It's a fans thing, and I'm saying you're hurting the fans when you don't. Listen, let's take Jeremy Grant out of it. Devin Booker should be in the All-Star weekend. Period.
Yeah.
He voted
in.
He was.
Period.
Wasn't he?
Voted in. He was a replacement.
He was a replacement. AD got hurt.
Huh.
It's like there's no reason for that.
Yeah, you're right.
There's no reason for that.
But my thing is, you're voting on these people by position, right? So like, who are the starters?
Starters Zion for the West was Zion, LeBron,
Steph,
Luka,
and
Jokic.
Okay, so he's not a starter. So who's the shooting guard that came off the bench in the All-Star game?
Bradley Beal.
For the West.
James.
Well, no, off the West was they had Dame Lillard and Chris Paul.
Yeah, they had James.
So
they
you
had
want
Dame,
to
Chris
see
Paul,
Devin
and James.
Booker or Dame?
I don't want Chris Paul.
Yeah, I don't want Chris Paul.
Right.
I don't want Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate everything he's doing for HBCUs and State Farm, but I don't want Chris Paul.
You know who wasn't an All-Star this year? Westbrook.
All right, moving on, please.
Just point that out.
He knew that.
That's crazy.
He knew that gets Matt's gears going.
That's crazy to me because, I've never seen people just disrespect niggas that's really just outrageous talent. Like Russell Westbrook. Russell, if you watching this, bro, I ride with you, bro.
It's an outrageous record,
right.
too. In the East.
Right. Why not?
What's the record in the East?
I'm with you.
They got a better record than the Bulls.
Who?
Okay.
The Wizards.
The Wizards?
They probably don't.
No, they don't.
They do not.
I know, I'm just kidding.
It's close. It's not as.
We're not leaps and bounds better.
They got a better record than the Pistons.
Okay, but how many Hall of Famers are on the Bulls right now?
Hall of Famer?
None.
I think Zach will be.
If Zach keeps his trajectory,
Zach
he
stays,
could be. Not first ballot, but he could eventually. Because the Hall of Fame is not the NBA, it's your entire basketball career.
Now, how many Hall of Famers are on the Wizards?
One.
Two.
Or two. Okay.
Two that I can think of off the top of my head.
Two at this moment in time.
With Beal and Westbrook.
So why should the record not be better than the Bulls?
You can't go off.
No one said that it shouldn't be better. It's just not.
You can't go off that.
So you can't go with that, man.
Come on now. Okay. Anyway, so yeah. So all in all, I'm thoroughly done with All-Star Weekend. Now, second half of the season is gearing up, shaping up. We saw Blake Griffin went to Brooklyn.
Ain't gonna help.
I think it will. I'm gonna tell you why.
Blake's done, bro.
The reason why I think
Shout out to the shorties that couldn't get home on All-Star Weekend, by the way.
Okay, if we
Okay,
all right. If we
going
throwing
down that.
If we throwing that out, I'm throwing out my topic. But look,
Oh no.
but look,
We can talk about the All-Star shorties though.
look. Yeah, that All-Star, whatever. Anyway, so second half of the season, Brooklyn got Blake Griffin.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that they're trying to move Jeremy Grant. I don't know. I heard they're trying to move Jeremy Grant. I heard the Lakers are a destination.
I heard Drummond is trying.
They're trying to push Drummond somewhere
to the Lakers.
So the Cleveland's trying to push Drummond out?
Yeah, they said they might buy him out, and then the Lakers are the top.
I never understood why they acquired so many bigs.
It makes no sense.
I mean, it's leverage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean, look at how many
you're gonna have to buy him out, so it's clearly bad leverage.
No, but look at how many teams right now need a big man like that.
Yeah, but they're not trading Drummond; they're gonna buy him out.
I know. I think they'll end up trading him. I think they'll trade him. I think they'll get Kuzma. For Drummond, they can get Kuzma. They don't want Kuzma there. Let's call it what it is.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest.
They can get Kuzma. They could probably get Schroeder. They could probably get.
They can get Caruso.
Schroeder.
They can get Kuzma. They can get Caruso. Cleveland. Why would they trade for Caruso?
Right.
Well, why would I take on $28 million for Drummond?
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Did you think the Pistons were going to buy out Blake Griffin for 50?
Yeah.
No.
They had no choice.
Heck
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
That's a
No,
lot of money.
They were trying to trade him
because they couldn't get rid of
Right.
him.
They tried to trade him, but
Like,
they couldn't
who's
get
buying Blake Griffin at this point?
nobody.
No one.
Not for
Not for $35 million a season, 50 total.
Right. Yeah.
Bro, I don't understand where these where did these
They
niggas
just
get
got
these figures
done.
from?
They just got done paying Josh Smith
Yeah.
like last week.
Help me understand where these figures are coming from. Like, bro, where is all this money coming from? Like
TV
50
contracts,
million
man. Revenue.
Yeah, TV contracts, shorties that couldn't get home from All-Star Weekend in Atlanta.
Exactly.
Oh,
GoFundMe's.
So just looking at Brooklyn, looking at how they're shaped up. KD's coming back. Kyrie and James Harden have been holding it down extremely impressively. I think they can get there without KD. Quiet as kept. And then now you got Blake Griffin, who I know you don't think is necessarily a big impact, Sheldon, but I think he's another big body that can get rebounds, and that's what they need. I think he's another rim protector too. You know, so I mean I think he's serviceable for what they need him to do, and he's better than DeAndre Jordan doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I with this move, I don't see why Brooklyn is not a clear favorite. If you pick the Lakers at this point, it's just because you're a Lakers fan. There's really no other reason unless they get somebody else prolific.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
So let me pose a kind of a different question as it pertains to Blake Griffin. Do you think that with the signing of Blake, that the starting five is Kyrie, Harden, KD, Blake, and DeAndre Jordan, or does Blake come off the bench?
No, Blake is coming
and
off
you
the
still
bench.
start Joe Harris.
Blake has come off the bench.
Wait,
I'm not starting
Blake.
Blake.
How tall is Joe Harris?
Blake,
Harris is
Joe Harris is like 6'6", 6'7". KD's been playing the 4.
He's that tall?
Yeah, he pretty tall.
Yeah.
I thought he was.
KD's
like
been
6'3".
playing the 4 with DeAndre Jordan playing the center.
I think you go Kyrie, James Harden, Kevin Durant, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan.
No.
So who? I mean, I guess there's with that. I mean, with Spencer Dinwiddie being out though, you really don't have any punch in your second unit though.
And you don't have.
Blake Griffin's not going to be enough punch in the second unit. Hate to break it to you. I mean, him being the only guy in the second unit that's worth anything is not going to be enough punch. So you might as well just put him in the first unit.
I'm not taking Joe Harris off.
I mean, and then let Joe Harris come off and earn his keep.
No.
I mean, why not?
Blake's not. No.
What you mean? No, Blake's
So
not.
how many minutes are you expecting Blake to play then?
Sheldon's speaking from a heart of betrayal. He think that Blake is forsaken.
They saw the handwriting on the wall last year.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Blake can't play 30, 5+ minutes.
I think
a night.
Blake comes off the bench because Blake doesn't really have a skill set. And, like, if you watch him play, he kind of demands the ball in his hands, which is really weird because he has a really weird skill set. He wants to be, like, a point forward. He doesn't really have a post-up game. He does a lot of stuff on the perimeter. He kind of needs space to operate. I would put him on the bench, and I would let Joe Horace come in and let him start.
And why disrupt the chemistry?
Because he doesn't have the energy that he did. If this was like L.A. Blake, I would say, yeah, let him start, and he'd be the defensive guy. He'd be the block guy, him and DeAndre. That would be mean.
I mean, you do understand that Blake Griffin's still putting up 40, though. Like, he's still scoring.
Putting up what?
Right.
He's still scoring 30s and 40s.
Right, but
what?
No, he's done
When?
that. He's done that, but he's turned into a ball dominant player, which is weird because he's a power
What
forward.
the hell, Blake Griffin? You playing 2K?
Right. I don't remember
Bro,
Blake scoring 30,
Blake
40.
Griffin is still a 30-point player.
No, he's not.
Okay.
What?
His first,
Blake Griffin can't score
Whoa.
30. Blake Griffin can't
Whoa.
score 30.
You said 30 a night.
I said he's still a 30-point player. I said he can still score in the 30s. That's not a stretch.
I don't know when he did
He can randomly one
Bro,
night
I
give
watched
you 30.
him last year, and it was 2 games where he had a 40-piece. 2 that
That's what
I
I'm
went
saying.
to.
So you're saying randomly one
Yeah,
night?
randomly.
Yeah,
No,
of
it's
course.
not a random.
It is.
I think if
It
Blake
is.
wanted to go out there and listen, I'll play anything
No.
on it right now. Blake can go out there and get 30 if he wanted to.
okay, that's cool. He's gonna do that off the bench.
Off the bench, right?
Right. Thanks, Lou Williams. Anyway,
Y'all didn't listen. First of all, y'all didn't even have him going to Brooklyn.
You're right.
I
So he's there now, and all of a sudden he's out there. Ain't listening to nothing y'all niggas say. Y'all know what y'all talking about anyway.
So you just woke up and knew.
He knew he was going to
I
Brooklyn.
told y'all that.
woke up and chose.
Told
violence.
y'all that.
All right,
going to
Jamal, what
Brooklyn.
was you finna say?
Told y'all.
I said it. What you mean?
Oh no, say something else because he
Yeah,
talking.
yeah.
I didn't say something else.
For real, like,
Right.
you know. I'm just saying. Brooklyn's the favorite.
There's
right now.
there's definitely gonna be a huge trade to get
Porzingis is going somewhere too.
another guard to the Lakers. It's not. I don't think it's gonna be a big. I think they need a stronger guard than Schroeder.
Really? They got
No.
there without one.
No,
They got there and won without one.
they don't need another guard.
Against better
I
guards.
think a DeMar DeRozan. Bro, because you're matching up against Brooklyn. He's not thinking about. It's like when someone's guarding you, you're not thinking about the guy guarding. You're thinking about the big behind him, right? Well, maybe Sheldon doesn't think about that, but what I'm saying is that like you're not thinking about everybody in the West. You're thinking about the finals, and you got to match up against Brooklyn. And
There is no matchup against Brooklyn.
but you got to at least don't get swept again, because LeBron done got enough.
You
Sweeps.
gotta at least don't get
Get
swept
swept.
again.
Look at how Miami was built last year. So you had Jimmy Butler, you had Goran Dragic when he was healthy, you had Tyler Hero. Okay, who was their other guard?
Duncan
player?
Robinson.
Duncan Robinson, who was lights out. Shout out Michigan. And then you had Kendrick Nunn.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bam.
And yeah, I'm talking about guard play.
Oh, God,
So
like
yeah,
that.
so now you
Iguodala.
guard play.
Iguodala was playing it too. He was starting next to
I
Jimmy
thought he
Butler
was a
before
small
Duncan Robinson
forward.
started shooting the gym out.
No, he was playing it too.
Was he?
Yeah.
Hmm?
When Jimmy was out there with him. Yeah.
Must have been for the defense.
Basically.
But
yeah.
yeah. So then you look at so that LA played that unit with the guards that they had. Obviously, they took them to task, and Jimmy had to turn water into wine for them to even get where they got, to 2 games. But I just don't. I think it's not that they're comparable to Brooklyn because they're not. But I'm just saying, you look at Jimmy Butler and you look at Tyler Hero and you look at Goran Dragic healthy. I mean that's a good set of guards. I mean that's a good trio of guards. Kendrick Nunn, that's a good group of guards. So if you can hang it, you can beat that group. I think you can hang in there with Brooklyn
They just
without
need
having to get another
But I
prolific
think
guard.
they just need Kuzma to be more consistent.
yeah, that's what I
Kuzma
think. They gotta,
is
their
the
guys
one-
that are out there have to be better.
Because Kuzma could give you 20 a night
But the problem,
if he played
Well,
consistent.
Brian, that's Brian.
LeBron could
That's
give you
a Brian.
20.
That's a Brian issue.
the problem,
You know,
no,
Brian don't like nobody doing nothing if it ain't him. So
The problem is that Kuzma is literally running the same position as Anthony Davis, and he's not as good, right? Kuzma's the type of cat that, like, there's some people that just can't come off the bench. They got to start. And the problem is that Anthony Davis is taking up the same space on the floor that Kuzma will want to operate in. And that's why he's been off since AD showed up. He doesn't. He's a starter. He needs to start somewhere else. He needs to get traded. They need to move him to a different team because he's not ever really going to be the prolific player that he was. He wasn't prolific before, but he was putting up 20 a game. He's not going to be that player with the Lakers because he's not starting. He needs to start, and he's not going to start because he's not going to start over AD.
Who's their center?
You said who's their center?
Or no, Harold doesn't.
Harold or Gasol?
Gasol, yeah.
So AD plays the
4.
See, that's what I'm saying. I think it would have. I mean, Kyle should have tried to add some small forward to his game. I'd have worked on that over the summer. How can I extend?
That's the thing.
How can I extend my game out?
He is more of a small forward
without the handle.
But that's what I'm saying. He needs to be watching Carmelo Anthony tape, in my opinion. How can I stretch the floor? Because like you said, he's not better than AD. So if you're not gonna be better than AD, then you have to do something that AD is not doing.
They need
to be, you know what I'm saying, to be significant.
They need a small forward, really, because LeBron's pushing the 1, really.
Yeah.
So they need really a 3.
And Caruso's not a small forward.
Yeah.
You know. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, I still got
Brooklyn in 5.
Yeah, I still got Brooklyn.
And
5.
I still got Brooklyn. I'm gonna tell you this too, though. It just sucks because you look at teams like Utah, you look at teams like, and it's cute that they got the best record, but when it's all said and done, we already know what's gonna happen. I just wish that's why I wish the NBA would go to March Madness format. I think it would even be more fun to watch as a viewer and a fan.
You finally coming around.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I love the series play. I do. I love it, and I think there's so much strategy that goes into that over the course of however many games you have to play. But I just think, when you look at these good teams like a Portland, and they're humping to get one game. You know what I'm saying? Like in that one game is at the beginning of a series. The first game of the series, and you think, man. Mm-hmm. That could, like, if this was March Madness, Portland beat, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that just in terms of viewership, that would be extremely exciting for the NBA.
Yeah, but then you run into the possibility of getting a finals when there's the Utah.
Yeah, it's your Orlando Magic versus the Utah Jazz.
Is that good?
But here's the thing though: why are people okay with if Florida Gulf Coast plays Missouri in a Natty, but they're not okay if Utah plays? You know what I'm saying? Washington.
Because of the chances.
No, they're not okay with that there. There's only room for one Cinderella story in the tournament.
And the
people only really want to see the Florida Gulf Coast or the Missouri. They don't want to see both.
And the chances of that Cinderella actually winning the whole thing, it's not. The chances are not big. So you're still going to get your blue blood that's going to win it all. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Kind of. I just think the NBA has enough star power to where they could do March Madness format and it still be interesting.
Speaking of March
Madness. What star power do you want to see on Orlando?
Right.
Dude, I mean, bro, Orlando's not gonna be that though.
Yeah.
You're saying Orlando, that like they're not gonna be that. I'm talking about the Utahs, Portlands, like Dallas, like teams like that. I think it would be fun to watch them in that format. Orlando's not going anywhere. It don't matter what kind of format you put them in. You could put them in the fast and pray for 21 days format. Still not getting in.
Put them in the spot you 50.
Yeah, so, but, that's just my opinion on it. So, I mean, but whatever. They're doing it how they want to do it. But that's a good segue into March Madness.
Huge win by my Spartans yesterday. Huge win by my Spartans.
Why are you so geeked about that? Y'all just gonna be the first loser?
No, just because.
I think
that's the game that got stayed in.
I think
was it really?
Yeah, it probably
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think it's more about Izzo's streak
than
anything because they're gonna get bounced first game.
More than likely, yeah.
They suck.
They're trash, bro.
So let me ask this question.
Not trash,
I got two people here that went to state, and one is a state fan. Mm-hmm. To help me understand this, okay.
I probably won't understand.
Is Izzo being a perennial come up short guy?
Dog, he's a perennial loser.
I mean, like he loses every year, and I get it's the Final Four, whatever you want to call it, but I feel like you get to so many Final Fours to where it becomes getting to the Final Four is not like a feat anymore. So for me,
it still is a feat though.
But it's not though, because
it is, though.
Like you've dominated getting there.
Bro.
So if you've dominated getting there is no longer a big
They hype
deal.
up the Final Four so much in college basketball, bro.
Bro,
Like,
but LeBron. So think about it like this: if college basketball coaches were players, right? Izzo is a top 4 player. Think about this, right? Because college basketball is more about the coaches than the actual players, right?
Right.
So if I'm comparing Izzo to LeBron's finals record is better than Tom Izzo's Final Four record.
Yeah.
They haven't won since 2000.
20 years.
21
20
years.
20 years.
Yeah.
And he's been to
2000.
10 Final Fours or 9 Final Fours.
I guess I don't understand. I don't understand.
You don't understand what? Like why?
Like, I guess my question becomes why does Izzo keep getting? And I don't think he gets a pass from people by and large. I think he just gets a pass from niggas that live in East Lansing. But why is it that state fans can't kind of stop and be like, yeah, we go to the Final Four, so what? Like if I've dominated using my right hand,
why is his standard higher?
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like if I dominate using my right hand, after a while watching me finish with right-handed doesn't matter.
Okay,
it's like
but still,
he does that all the time. You know
name
what I
me
mean?
one.
Like,
name me one other program who wouldn't want to be in a position State's been in the last 20 years.
North Carolina and Duke because they want to win.
Okay, but
Kentucky. I
no.
mean, you can argue Kentucky.
No.
Kentucky.
No.
Yeah, you can argue.
You can argue John Calipari probably need a refresher.
Kansas.
Villanova, UCLA.
Okay, outside the Blue Bloods.
That wants to
that
be
wouldn't want to be in a
that
position.
wouldn't want to be in a position
that State has been in the last 20 years.
I mean, if you're talking about teams that are in obscurity, then that's obviously
Bro.
Yeah, but we're talking about. You just said
If
the
this-
Blue Bloods are the ones that
okay,
get there.
if that
and
was
that's
the-
what makes it more impressive is year in year out, State doesn't get those guys. Duke, Carolina,
Bro, they
Kentucky
kind of
get.
do.
Not
They kind of do.
They kind of do.
They kind of do, bro.
No.
Imani
bro,
Bates
bro.
just said he was gonna go.
But he's not going there.
anymore.
I mean, he won't.
Not
But I'm just
anymore.
saying, like, bro, y'all have gotten some dogs, bro. I think they
everybody,
just get there and are
everybody
trash.
on,
We don't get-
bro. Everybody on State's roster is a 4-star player and up. Everybody's on the play. They have a McDonald's, bro. They have the number. Gary Harris was a number 2 shooting guard in the country.
talking
They got
about
the
this-
number 2 shooting
this
guard.
roster?
Bro. Rocket Watts was he was a top 4-star player. He was putting up more
So you
buckets in
saying-
high school than LaMelo was.
It's high school.
It's
Well,
LaMelo.
how do you give out scholarships?
Yeah, I'm like,
Sheldon?
yeah,
Okay.
like, you're talking about it's high school, nigga. That's what they're
But-
measured by.
How do you think they got there?
No,
They graduated.
no. Anyway, you saying everybody on Michigan State's roster this year was a 4-star?
No, we're saying Michigan State gets the talent. They get the talent that Duke gets, bro.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
They
They,
do
it's
not.
just
How do
when
they
they
not?
get. Listen,
They don't, though.
I would argue this. And tell me how you feel about this.
Okay.
I would argue this. Michigan State gets the talent. I think Izzo's system dilutes their talent. So if you send some of the guys that Michigan State has gotten to a Kentucky, to a Duke, to a North Carolina, I think a lot of them are completely different
All right.
colleges.
Okay, I agree. I would
If
agree
you
with that.
send Miles
20
Bridges to
I agree
Duke,
with
they
that.
win a ring.
Bro, Miles Bridges was the number 6 player in high school. Gary Harris was the number 2 shooting
What was
guard
Keith?
in the country. Keith was in the McDonald's game.
I
Okay.
mean, y'all get the talent, bro.
We get
This-
And I,
20
bro,
20
go ahead, Sheldon.
No,
Because
what
I
I'm
want
saying,
to say something after you. Go ahead.
We don't get that talent consistently like Duke and Kentucky get
Bruh.
every year.
You want to know why?
But
y'all don't-
and I was about to say,
And
To
no,
your
the
point.
reason why you don't is your head coach.
right? That's what I'm saying. Like,
It's because
that's his
it's
system.
because that Zion and all those guys know when I go to Tom Izzo's offense, that motherfucker about to make me go from 28 to 16.
There's no reason why Miles Bridges and Draymond should be the only 2 players of note
Bro,
in the league for Michigan State.
you realize
that's ridiculous.
You realize Keith would be in the league right now had he went to a Big East school.
Absolutely.
Keith was one of Keith was one of the scared bro.
Oh my God, we'd have made
well,
that nigga.
part of it is they tried to turn him into a point guard.
But the same thing they're doing to who? Rocket. He's not a point. He's literally a mini Keith, and they're turning him into a point guard again. He was in high school
But I mean,
averaging
he's
more
gonna have
points
to,
than
because
LaMelo
Rocket is
was.
only what 6'2".
Okay,
He's going to have to play point
bro.
guard.
But the point guards in the league are shooting guards today.
Lou Williams said, "No, you don't."
Exactly. Nate Robinson says hello.
Terry Rozier right now said, "No, you don't."
There's exceptions. I hear what you're saying.
Like,
I hear what you're saying. But
that goes. And I didn't mean to make this a Michigan State thing. I'm just saying.
I did.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah. I'll take you.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like, if you're gonna be Izzo, you got to break through at this point. You got to break through at this point. Got to break through, man. I just don't. I'm tired of hearing the Final Four thing from State. I'm tired of hearing it. You're not winning it. You're not winning what you're there for. Like, I don't know. Like, you do a documentary on them right now, and what's the magical ending? Yeah. Nothing. It's just that we keep getting there and losing.
Being bounced by Florida Gulf Coast.
So are you a Michigan fan?
I am.
Well, you got a Ohio State fan across right there too. So.
Well, so I mean, I'm not a basketball fan anyway. I don't really care about any others. Well, no, I know, but I'm also a Buckeye. I was just gonna ask you, Matt. Like, well, I mean, where's Michigan though?
So Michigan's been in the national championship game 3 of the last 5 years?
No.
2 in the last 5 years.
In the last 10 years, Michigan and Michigan State have been in the same amount of Final Four games.
No, I said national championship game.
National
Michigan
championship.
has been to the national championship game twice in 5 years, right?
Yeah.
So here's my thing about Michigan, though. Michigan doesn't go to the Final Four nearly as much as Michigan State does. So I'm not even including Michigan because they're not going at the frequency of Michigan State. To which I can't say nothing. That's y'all are doing better than us in that regard. But I'm saying in 20 years, you've gotten there.
Can't capitalize on it.
You can't get over the hump in 20 years, and we're still. Bro, what are we still talking about? I just don't understand. Now let time Izzo been
Beeline, John Beeline.
No, let time Izzo. This is a whole other thing, but let time Izzo been Tariq
Black
Izali, and he wouldn't be there. Yeah, I just call it what it is.
But it's not always an automatic once you get there.
What do you mean?
Like in 2009, State ran up against the NBA squad in the national championship game. Like, bro,
I mean, but that's the
okay.
Like,
but
don't
that's
go.
That's one.
Don't go.
Yeah, so there's 19 more years you're talking about, right?
But my thing is this though. In college, Kalen Lucas, pre ACL or Achilles, was an NBA player. Darrell Summers, before he started sleeping with whatchamacallit's girlfriend, was an NBA player.
Hey, all right.
Draymond is an
Michigan
NBA
State's
player.
Followers. You better quit snitching.
Nah, bro, everybody knows that. Darrell Summers was sleeping with
Brandon Dawson.
Yeah, Brandon Dawson got drafted.
He was a league player.
Denzel Valentine.
Bryn Forbes.
Chris Allen?
Chris Allen didn't make it, but he was nice. He was tough. But that's that he transferred because of this sleeping with his girlfriend.
Didn't he go to Iowa State?
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. I just think as we look at March Madness right now, I don't want to hear the thing from. I don't want to hear it from State.
Bro, Rocket Watts is the 6th best point guard in the country
Today.
No, he was the 6th best point guard in the country in high school.
Oh, okay. You know, so yeah, do with that what you will. All I know is Syracuse will be champion again at some point in our lifetime. I know you're not talking. Tell me the last natty Ohio State won in basketball, please. Gladly I'll wait.
Won or went to?
One. You heard me right. Yeah. 2003 is when Syracuse won.
When did y'all win?
2003 with Melo and them.
You talking about Syracuse? Oh, now you want to jump from Michigan to Syracuse?
I just said.
Whenever the argument benefits you, go ahead.
I'm saying.
You want to bring up? Now we want to talk about championships. You want to jump to Melo? Okay.
Hey, like, just let me know when Ohio State won the Natty in basketball. 53. 65, nigga. Was that what? Look, back when they was playing that Burston, nigga. But yeah, so no, but I the more that I watch, March Madness, the more every year I get more excited to watch it, just because I think it's fun to watch basketball played hard nosed. The refs aren't getting in the way. it's real basketball to me,
It's
which
winning.
I think the NBA is slowly just becoming a glamour show.
It's win or go home.
It's just
So.
you know what I mean, and I think the refs they respect that aspect of it. They're like, hey, you gotta win, so they let them go out there and they let them go win. The league is just, whew. Like you know,
Quick segue to that. The reffing in the NBA is becoming ridiculous.
What?
Man, it's awful. What you mean, man? It's
No,
because
no,
of your favorite
They're
player.
making a spectacle of it, man. They trying to be the star of the show, bro.
Right.
The reffing in the NBA is garbage, and they need to do post game interviews too, because you're ejecting guys left and right, and I need to know your
We need to
reason.
know why you did.
I agree with that, Jamal. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Referee should be able to do some sort of presser.
Yeah, I want to know what that guy said to you that you thought it was okay to tee him up, because you need to be under as much scrutiny as the players do.
And it holds them accountable.
Yeah,
But then when you talk about the refs, you get fined for it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Hey,
So if you wrongfully throw a guy out, I want you to get fined.
Right.
just
come on.
a quick fact check: Ohio State won the national championship in the 59-60 season.
59-60. My dad wasn't even born yet.
Bro, did we have rights then?
Did you check Ohio? Did you check Michigan?
When we, hey, were we even allowed to really be out there playing? That is hilarious.
Nah, bro, that was before Martin had a dream.
Right.
He said, "Did we have rights yet?" It was still segregated bathrooms when y'all won.
Yeah, nigga, they were still playing in bread baskets.
Blake, did you look up the team photo from the season?
That's a good. That's
Probably
a good
all
point.
whites.
Nah, bro, I don't want to see a Klan rally. That's okay.
Take your hood off for the picture, please.
Right.
Oh man, yeah, nothing but Caucasovic.
We got two.
You got two?
I think
He biracial. He don't.
Coaches?
Nah, they wouldn't allow to have no
He said
damn
he was
authority. Not in the 60s. Ain't no coach.
Well, I know, but
He look like
Kind of look like somebody.
he looked like Drew
black.
Valentine. And then that's a brother. That's Bobby Joe.
Bobby Caldwell.
Yeah. So the team is 90% white.
Yeah.
but those guys didn't have like water bottles in their hand and towels, did they?
Wait a minute.
No.
Ohio
He's
State.
something.
Yeah. He's Indian though. He's Native American. So yeah. But that March Madness, you got a lot of good teams. Baylor. You know, aren't they like they've only lost one game? I think it is.
Yo, Bobby Knight was on that team, bro.
Yeah, the team that won.
Yeah, bro.
Is he dead? Did he die?
No, he's still alive.
Oh.
Barely.
You said barely.
Not in a bad way.
Barely.
Not in a bad way.
Wow, John Havlicek was
That
on
brother
that?
holding on for dear life.
Right.
It's kind of some. These are some noteworthy names.
Yeah, some guys that came out of there.
Well, that's why they won that year.
Yeah.
Because of John Havlicek? Is
Well,
that
I
what
don't
you
know.
guys, that's what you raised the banner for?
I don't-
Havlicek and Bobby Knight?
I didn't even know we had a basketball team.
Yeah, not in 50, in 60.
Any way it goes. I don't really give a shit about basketball. Sorry. I just watch
Really?
football. Yeah.
Soccer, hockey.
Yeah,
No,
why
I
don't
mean,
you beat us there, and then you come back to the court.
I do like the hockey, but I mean, even even Ohio State,
Hockey.
even Ohio State, Michigan State, and
Jitto.
Michigan, they're decent in hockey, but like Boston College and other schools are way better than typically. So
Why do you think, why is that? Why is the Blue Bloods that are good in football and basketball, why does it not always translate?
I think so like
they're
good
not going to those
good schools around here, you know, Powers, and then like maybe Brighton, and then there's Cranbrook, and Powers private school,
Confused.
Cranbrook
Talking about
private school.
Hockey.
Right.
Boston College, I don't know. I just don't think that people go to Ohio State to play
Play hockey.
hockey.
Yeah.
First of all, they go to a school like Boston College that's had that
Or Cambridge.
program. Well, I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
I
there's
see what
other.
you're saying. So the
there's
same
other
way guys
schools.
go to Kentucky, Duke, North
basketball.
Carolina
For basketball.
They're going to
These
Boston
other
College.
guys are going to Boston College.
Yeah,
Penn,
those are
wherever
the
to
schools
play
that
hockey.
they look at for hockey. You know what I mean?
Got you.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Totally get it. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
All right, so what we got for the next topic? What we got?
Yeah, because, you know, I want to.
Yeah.
So basically, I was really. The one,
Oh,
55.
God. Here you go.
and I'm not going to get crazy. on this.
What's
on this
Jamal? What's your next topic?
No, listen. Okay, the topic is love. No, I'm not going. Although I don't think that.
Oh my God.
Okay, the topic is
moving on.
The topic is love a feeling or a choice?
Okay,
that was the question.
Yeah.
When you fall in love with someone, when you fall in love with whoever the girl that you meet, whatever, was it a feeling or was it a choice? I say it's a feeling that eventually turns into a choice. Because, like when you first meet them, you feel something. I mean, I don't know how to describe it, but
I don't think that's love.
I mean, listen, man.
Because you fell in love with.
I fell in love with Paula Patton, the first movie I ever saw her in. I had the feeling, and I made the choice. I said, right now.
Hey, Mr. Frierson, how you doing?
I had the feeling, I made the choice.
No, but so I guess I'm open to what you guys think. I just think that you initially like that infatuation is a feeling. I feel like. So people say, like, how many times do you hear people in relationships, they've been together 2 years and they tell their girlfriend they love them? Okay, well, a year together doesn't necessarily mean love either, but they still say it. So I think they're saying it out of the infatuation. But you look at 15, 20 years down the road and you're still saying it with confidence and certainty. I think it's because you've chosen to love that person at this point. It's no longer the infatuation of it. Does that make sense?
I think you have to make the choice to let your guard down to do it in the first place.
Yeah, I think you have to make the choice to allow yourself to feel that.
Yeah.
Okay, this Blake's looking at something else. So I'll take his part.
Yeah, all right. So
no, you don't get another opinion. Hold on a second. No.
It's both, right? So your infatuation comes first, like you said before. You make the choice at like a year, 2 years, 3 years in, when that honeymoon phase is over.
I mean, okay, so Jason, you and Jamal just said you have to let your guard down to make, and you doing that is you choosing to be open to that. But this is what I'll offer up to you. I feel like that's only, and I know this is shallow Hal speaking, but I feel like that's only in situations where it's not okay. Like there's some women that we
flex your muscles a little bit more while you're saying this. No, seriously.
No,
it'll be perfect.
Listen, this is what I'm saying.
Hey, Jason, you said it.
I really wasn't trying to.
He said, and I said this. This is
shallow as fuck. But
right.
Hold on, check these triceps out real quick.
This is what I'm saying. Okay, I think that's only true if the person that you've come across is someone that is not someone that you would outright be with. For example, there's women that we've seen or talked to or whatever that we know right away. Yeah, there's no guards up. I'll be with you tomorrow if you take me. I mean, it's
well, but you just said is love a choice or whatever that infatuation
love a feeling or a choice.
Yeah. I mean, like looks, I'll smack a variety. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that I want to be with them or love them. Like,
yeah, and I'm not saying the ones. I'm
sometimes,
not saying. I'm just saying like, okay, so I won't say the girl that we talked about earlier today. When you guys were dealing with each other, I mean, you liked her, right? And so in liking them genuinely, I would imagine there's things that that you're willing to do to show that person that you like, and then eventually love them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but that's like almost instant when you feel like you've met that person that you truly care about.
Right, but that at the same time, that instant is when you decide if you want to do this or not. Like, I mean,
you knew right away
that I'd smash.
I don't believe that.
Jamal,
go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, I think you guys love to be abstract. Let's be honest. There's girls that, of course, you would smash, whatever. But most of the time, the ones that are very attractive that you feel like you'd also be with them.
Yeah, like but that's not love.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that that's love. I'm just saying that your mind. Okay, it's not love 2 years in when you're saying I love you to her either, though. So
why couldn't it be?
I don't believe you can love somebody after a year. I
So
don't
that's
believe that.
You.
Oh wow.
Whoa.
See, I think
Love
you could,
somebody?
I think you could literally.
No.
I think that there
Not even you
is
talk to that person.
falling in love with somebody. Like, I don't want to say first sight necessarily. That's like real
A
tough. But
year?
like, I think you could fall in love with them very
Son,
quickly.
You fall in love with women online after 20 minutes of them telling.
Talking about FEMA.
Yeah.
Oh,
You want to make $500?
So you didn't fall in love with your ex-girlfriend after a year?
After 1 year, I would not. I wasn't in love with her.
Then can I ask you something, man?
Damn.
Yes,
hear
you
me,
can.
Hear me
Yes,
out when
you
I hear
can.
me out when I. Okay,
Yes,
y'all right?
you can,
Y'all not, what y'all not finna do is jump on me on this doggo podcast.
Listen, Ruffin.
He should have ended it before this topic.
Let me
Yeah,
say
yeah,
this.
you doing
Let me
right.
say this.
Double.
Let me say this. You just asked me, was I in love with her? Okay, I loved her. I'll say this. I really cared about her, but I feel like in a year, you don't go through enough to where you can test whether or not you really love the person. Personally, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think in a year's time, you haven't been through enough to be able to say, yeah, I love this person. I think you can really care about them, but I don't think in a year you can say, yeah, I really love her. I just don't think that's realistic.
Hey,
Because then something happens in year 2, and all of a sudden you hate her, you calling her all types of names, and you ready to get out.
right now, somewhere Matt's ex watching this, and she's like,
I can see it in your eyes. You're angry.
Yeah, take a shot for me. Redemption's on your mind when you think about redemption. But no, I mean, does that make sense? I'm not saying that.
Okay, so my question to you is
go
going to be
ahead.
If you're saying year 1, year 2, you're still saying I care about you a lot, but I don't love you. Then I guess to me, what conversations or what are you entertaining with these women to prolong it this long?
Yeah,
Because I feel like you're not getting. you're not,
boy, hit the spot.
Let me answer.
I feel like you're not having like enough.
Let
Like
me answer.
the love is not devoted enough.
Yeah,
Let me
you're like, what kind of a relationship is it?
Sure, I'll answer.
Yeah, what kind of relationship
I'll answer
are you
that
having
question.
with these people? I guess
that
I'll
means
ask.
he's just looking for arm candy. That's exactly what.
No, it's
Yeah.
not true. That's not true. Let me. You
No, I asked
you
the
laughing
question.
really hard for a nigga that just tried to get me to turn 300 into 3,000.
Yeah, man. Hey, if you get a message that says he's a Nigerian prince, don't believe him.
Right. This is,
He
let me answer
like
that.
coming to America 2 just came out.
Let me answer that. Let me answer that,
Trying to get
Jamal,
back to
because that's a
Zamunda.
good question. That's a good question, Jamal. I think. So you said, what conversations are we having? What's the construct of the relationship? For me to
Because
say that I
I
don't
think
know.
if you're like 100%, all in, like, because that's why I say it's a choice to let yourself be in that situation. Because if I go my mindset like, okay, like, I'm with her, I'm all in, I'm gonna give this a legitimate shot. I feel like my emotions and things develop in a year span. You can definitely develop love. But my thing is like, if you're saying in a year, you're still saying I care about you a lot. But I don't think that that's love.
So yeah,
I guess
are you
what kind of relationships are you having with these girls that is like that's the way that you're built to think?
You're still
Do
in
you want me
two
to answer
separate
that
houses.
So maybe-
You're like, I mean,
Then let me say this then, because that's a good question.
Do you want me to answer that professionally, Jamal, or like?
I
Let
want
me-
Matt to answer
Let
it
me answer the
professionally.
question.
Yes, like you sit down.
Let me answer the question.
please.
Let me answer the question. I think my second answer is this. Maybe the definition of love has changed for me through experience. Maybe I'll say that. That's number one. That's number one. Maybe the definition of what love is no longer what it was when I had my first relationship in college or my, you know what I'm saying? So maybe now I look back
Which
at
is
that and
fair.
say
We grow.
I
Which is
wasn't
fair.
in love when I was telling her I loved her. You know what I mean? Also, too, I think the conversations are, you with someone, you're dealing with someone, but I feel like until you've had some sort of, and not that every relationship has this ridiculous adversity, but I feel like once you've kind of went through some turbulence, and then you see what you really got under pressure in this person, then I feel like saying I love you and that kind of thing is a little bit more appropriate. But I feel like if you've been in the infatuation phase and everything's going great, it's easy to say that because everything's going great.
You're saying you're not in love with somebody until the relationship gets a little toxic.
No, I'm saying you're not in love with someone until you've seen who that person really is. and not necessarily in like no cheating type of way. I'm just saying like until you've had turbulence,
and you can't get that within a year.
I don't think that you can get. I don't think you get the real stuff in a year. I don't. I think you may get petty arguments, but I think in a year's time, most of the year's time is infatuation.
Well, you still see them react in other situations with other people that may be further along than the arguments that you're having. So you see how she's really acting about shit, though. See, that's kind of like where I would be looking at. Like her outside relationships of
I would be
you
honest
guys.
with you, if you don't have somewhat of a go ahead, Jason.
No, I mean that's all I was saying.
I was saying if you kind of don't have an idea of whether you love somebody, spending consistent time with them over a course of a year, maybe not to the point where it's like you envision a future with that person, but like at least have some sort of understanding of your feelings toward that person after a year together, then you probably are wasting
your time.
That's not true. I think you can really care about somebody in a year's time and not say that you're in love with them. I don't think that that's unrealistic.
I just don't know how that happens.
Well,
you're
every day
talking with that person.
I mean, whatever we're doing, it's not working for most of us because I think the only. Well, I don't know if I could say
about half,
but
by choice too.
You know what I'm saying?
Sheldon's the only one that's not by choice. Everybody else is choosing to be single. Sheldon's the only one that's not by choice.
They pay you, Sheldon?
Nah,
no, they don't pay
Sheldon's
you.
under contract to be alone.
Does that make sense? Like, when you think about...
It does.
Okay, Jason, not even like... Okay, how long did it take for you to realize that relationships in your past, you're like, I don't love who this person really is?
I'm out of another relationship, and I'm not in one right now. I mean, that says it to me. Just like, what's your longest relationship?
3 years, 4 years.
Okay, and you're not in one... Well, you may or may not be in one right now?
No.
Okay. So, I mean, it doesn't, whatever your thought process is on it right
Yeah,
now,
I know, but
it's not working for you either. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying that.
Oh, God.
No. I mean, like, I'm not in a successful relationship right now. So clearly my thoughts on how shit was working was not where it needed to be. And now I've adjusted probably to my next relationship. That's why I'm not in one right now.
But that's my point. That's my point. My point is, okay, let's say in year one, because like I said, I didn't say.
So what's your timeline?
I didn't say 5-6 years, and I'm not telling her I love her.
So what's your timeline? What's your acceptable amount of time to be like, hey, I love this person?
Yeah,
I think if you
before Matt answers that, if I could interject, I think it's Matt's not so much of a timeline. I think it's more of a right situation. Is that right?
I mean, yeah.
I feel like if the right girl came along, this mindset that you have, this timeline is out the window.
Yeah, but I mean, there's so many variables even within that. But I mean, I would look, man, and like you said, I think it's just experience. We've all been in situations with people where, I mean, what's everybody's longest relationship? If you just go around the room, Blake's was what? 6 years.
Yeah.
Before her, what was it? Less than.
About a year.
Yeah, a year.
Don't come to me.
Yeah, 0.
And what was
Jason.
your longest?
So
Yeah,
my longest was almost 7, and my average is like 2.
2. Okay.
Mine was over 7.
Yeah, well, that was silly. That was bondage.
All right, hey.
Okay. All right. But anyway.
We not.
Hey, listen, you know.
Not going down that path.
So it's the timeline. I in a year, I just don't think. In a year, I feel like there's way too many fleshly emotions that overtake like your real sense of reality and engaging with the situation for what it is.
So what's your timeline?
I mean, I think you can be at, the end of 2 years, 2-year mark, and be like, okay, I can,
So are you literally still in separate houses at this point? Because my whole thought on that
that's
is
a whole
also
nother conversation.
But exactly. But I think like those two things go hand in hand closer together than Like, I mean,
Yeah.
because
I've never lived with
I
a
don't
girlfriend.
I don't love you, but we can move in together so I can
We can shack
you
up.
know
That's the
so
thing, I wouldn't be
now
doing
I
that,
can
though.
fuck up my whatever if we break up or you fuck
Right.
like, so I feel like that feeling has already got to be a lingering feeling anyway. Like, all right, when I do this next step, this is it. Like,
And that's my thing. I've never lived with a girlfriend.
okay,
You see what I'm saying?
That's good then. And,
So,
yeah.
I mean, I've never lived with a girlfriend. So I think if,
Well, hold up. When's the last relationship you were in? Was it high school when you were still living at home with your parents?
No. I was
Okay.
I was living on my own.
Okay.
But I personally wouldn't want to live with anybody until I was married.
Yeah.
Personally, just because there's a lot of red tape, and if it doesn't work out, it's a lot. It's a lot. But
That's worse.
no. I think when you've made the decision that you want to be with this person for the rest of your life, you guys get married. I think then you can look at that and you can do that.
Well, I think
I'd
that
say-
people go by
I'd
the
say
book like
there's a
that
lot
for
of-
sure.
I think living with somebody is a different animal, and you need to experience the type of person you're going to live with before you marry them.
Yeah, and I mean, Jamal, you've been in relationships where you live with them, and you probably looking back, you probably been like, I wouldn't have made that decision. Looking back,
I mean, we've had these conversations off camera, bro. I don't regret anything that's happened.
No, it's experience.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
and lessons.
but there's things that you're gonna have to go through when that relationship is over from having
Right.
lived with her that I won't.
And
That's
bro,
what-
and
you know
to
what I'm
keep it and to call a spade, bro. Like I've never been married, but bro, that shit felt like divorce. Like we was splitting shit up, and
And
but
for what?
at
A
the
girl
end of the
that you
day,
weren't
like,
even contractually with.
yeah, what?
I said, if with a girl that you weren't even like contractually with, like,
Yeah, bro. I didn't even sign. I didn't even put the pen on paper. You know?
like you know what I'm saying? Like we played house and it didn't work, and I felt like I was divorced.
Okay,
and it
nigga,
was-
I wasn't playing house. Bro. Ain't no Barbie Ken situation, bro. I was in a relationship that didn't work. Nigga talking about I'm playing house. I was just want to live with her just to say that I live with my
Yeah,
girlfriend.
whatever. Ken and Barbie's dream house, whatever y'all was doing.
Yeah,
But
all right, mother.
no, I just listen. I agree. I don't disagree. I think it's different for everybody. I'm just saying. I think the best answer is looking at my past relationships and my past situations. I think I was too quick and eager to say I love you and all that kind of stuff. And then I look back and what I was feeling wasn't love. In my opinion, what I was feeling wasn't love. What I was feeling was lust, infatuation. It was so I didn't get to love for me until a few years had passed. You know what I'm saying? Or a couple, and then you look up one day and you're just kind of like, I mean, yeah, I really love this girl, and this is it for me. Like if you know what I'm saying, if it works out that way, this is to be it for me. I don't feel like you get to that point in 1 year. I just don't feel like that.
Most experts, biology experts, love
Go with
experts,
this stuff.
they would say after 6 months of you being in a relationship, you're no longer in a crush or like infatuation stage. If you're experiencing, I think it's 6 or 8 months. If you're
you
past
begin
that
to know.
point, you're in love with this person, and so everything you're doing after that point is a choice.
Okay, so then that means that it starts by feeling.
I mean, yeah, don't.
Well, no
nobody
one
walk up-
disagrees
yeah,
with
don't
that. I
nobody
think
walk
the
up
whole
to a
topic
person
now
they're
is
not
that
attracted to.
you not getting married till 10 years in a relationship.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
It's at least, what, 3 years?
You in the
It's just
5-year
it's just
engagement.
implied.
Is what we're kind of talking
No,
about.
I think. Listen, I'm not saying you. We're talking about 1 year here. Like when y'all really stop and think about it, how quick does 1 year go?
Well, I can tell you, Corona has been around for 1 year.
Exactly.
I'm
1
just
year.
saying, like, how quick does 1 year go? Kobe
You know what I'm
died
saying?
a year ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you look at that, it's like
year
this.
He
bruh.
died like a year and a month and a half ago.
Yeah,
like
like-
13 and a half months ago now. It's
You know,
crazy.
I also think this year has been a crazy year.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, when you look at year as a timestamp, bro, that's not a lot of time. That's not a lot of time.
Matt, and I don't think anyone's saying that it's a long time. I just think it's unrealistic.
Y'all talking about
have
y'all love
no
them and want to have
inkling of-
kids in 2 months. Like,
I'll
you
tell her
slow down.
tonight, depending on what she's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Yeah,
that's Jason. That's
Well, on
Jason.
that note,
that's
But no, I just that's a good point.
I'm just playing,
They're-
really. Ladies, you know.
All right, so according to most recent data, most couples date for 2 or more years before getting engaged. So 2 years. 2 years.
That's what I said. I said 2 years.
2 years.
Would you-
just said I love
so-
you
so
after
at what
one.
point-
And
so
then
at
you just
what
said a year
point-
went by that. So you said I
Engagement
love
is
you, and then in a blink of an eye,
engagement is
you're
the
married.
ultimate. I love you. In my
So that
opinion.
means you got to know months before that.
And that's what I'm saying, Blake. I'm not saying that it's
No, that's
unrealistic
not
for
true.
you to say that I love you after a year.
I'd marry Paula
I'm just
Patton
saying
right
you
now.
having no
Okay, that's
inkling of
different.
knowing.
But you
like,
don't know
have
Paula
any
Patton.
I'd
kind of
marry
feeling
Paula
within the
Patton
first
right
couple-
now. It
like,
don't take me no months.
Off a look.
No
Off
months.
a look. And then you
0
get around
months.
and you realize that she's annoying as.
And I'll deal with it. I'm annoying too. We're gonna be annoying together.
And I love you.
Yeah, and I love you and you love me.
And then-
after a day.
And then you see Paula Patton behind the cameras and the makeup is off and everything that
I'm
makes her-
ugly too.
I could put Carlton in your place and saying that, like seeing Carlton do some shit like
You
that.
know, yeah, like, you know. So yeah, that's all I'm saying. I just think we, okay, let me ask you this, and I don't want to belabor the point, but when you look at your past relationships, everybody, I'm sure that there's perspective you gain, and I think you look back and you say, man, I don't necessarily, because whoever the person became or who they really were that they didn't show you till later, that version of them or that person, so in not all situations, wasn't something that you loved. Otherwise, you know what I'm saying? Like, otherwise, it wouldn't have ended how it ended. You see what I'm saying? Like, just look at, just think about
it turned sour or ugly, whatever it was. It doesn't mean it wasn't love.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Just,
growth
just
there.
because
There's
a love died or it's lost.
love
now, doesn't mean
dying.
that you
Love
never loved
dying
that
is
person.
different though than
Bro, I could tell you I loved every one of my girlfriends, and I could probably say I loved them all now for different reasons.
okay.
But that's who
I can't say every single one of them, but I know where you coming from.
I mean, my relationships, my relationships. I would say,
High school.
yeah, because I was only in 2.
So you feel like what you feel like love is today, you felt like it was love then in high school too.
Yeah, like maybe a different style of love, like a different maturity of love, but like we did. I'm talking serious relationships here, so like there's only been 5 of them, 2.5, 3 years or whatever, and the one was 7 years.
Kind
So
of a lot, man. You get around, huh?
I'm 37, bro. It's not that many. But no, I don't know. Just different. I mean, maybe not love. I guess.
And if it is, it is. But I just think if you really think about it, we got to really stop and try to understand what does love really mean to us when you look at what you've been. You know what I'm saying? Like what you've been through versus what you feel like you want. What you feel like you want based off of the bad experiences you've had, I feel like that is love. But when you look at what you went through and that's a bad experience. You know what I'm saying? Most of the situations you were in before that didn't work, you probably knew before you got out that you should probably get out before you got out.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But is that, you know what I mean? So that's not necessarily to me.
I think there's always going to be red flags in any relationship that tell you, maybe not red flags, but warnings of things that could go wrong if they progress. And that's with any relationship, successful ones or don't successful ones. And I think you have to make the choice of saying, are these things you can work through, or these are things that you can't take?
Sure.
So that's my take on it.
And if you see all those ugly things and you feel like at the end of the day when the pressure's on, both of you can answer the call. I think you can say
because it's always going to be ugly things. Like, doesn't matter if it's Jamal's girl, your girl, Jason's girl, etc. Right? Like, there's always going to be things that are deal breakers that you're gonna probably overlook or work through.
Yeah.
So it's just asking yourself the question: can I do those things? And then if you can't, and it's perfectly okay if you can't, but just taking those things and moving on to the next relationship with those in mind. Like, this is now I learned something about
The
myself.
growth, yeah.
Yeah. Now
Yeah,
I know that
yeah.
I can't handle these things.
And that's what I'm like when we talk when we have children, you have a child already.
Yeah.
When your daughter comes to you at 11, 12 and is 13, let's say 13, 14, and she's heartbroken because of some idiot and she tells you, but I really loved him, I guarantee you're going to say, you may have felt like you did, but so it's different.
Oh, no,
you know what I mean?
but see, I think, okay, so this is opinion based, obviously, but I feel like that's completely different than what I'd probably do. I'm going to probably say, did you? Why did you love him? Like, let's work through this because realistically, I did the same shit when I was a kid.
But you didn't think it was love at 13.
Well, that's why I'm saying I feel like it was. I mean, like I said, real relationships. Junior high and before that, there was like weeks here I was dating a girl, or you know what I'm saying. But we were like kissing in the back or whatever. But that was it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. Nah, notes were passed. Maybe love was said, but that ain't shit.
Yeah.
Serious ones. I mean, I had a feel. I was with them for that long. Like I wouldn't have stayed with them if I didn't feel this way. And I feel like that's how I'm going to teach my daughter. If she feels that way, why did you feel that way? You know, let's talk this out to make sure that you're not upset about it, because it's going to happen. You're going to learn, and you grow. Like,
Facts.
And I can't. And I mean, like you said, it's opinion based. So
and it is.
I respect that.
It is. Respect that. And it probably changed when I had my daughter, too. You know what I mean? 3.5 years ago, I wouldn't have thought this way necessarily.
Yeah.
So.
And, you know, listen, I'll be honest with you. My dad used to always, you know, if I'd come in snotty-nosed about a girl or something like that, he would just kind of be like, look, man, don't be sitting here losing your mind by no little high school girl. You know what I mean? Like, I think when I got older, I put into perspective, like, yeah, why was I? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
But
even
did you still though in high school?
I mean, after
Or
he
when
said that,
you were just like,
not instantaneously, but I think as like, I mean, I think eventually it was like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think sometimes you can, you know what I mean? Like, you can feel when you're being dramatic. I feel like, and there was girls that was like, dude, it's really not that big of a deal. Yeah. And maybe it takes someone to say that for you to see that. You know what I mean? And so for him, for me, he said that, and it was like, yeah, I guess it isn't that big of a deal. But you know, I think you end up in college, and you look back at high school, and you end up out of college, and you look at college, and you're just like, man, so much has changed in terms of what I even thought was important, or was love, or was, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, you guys got years in the game, Blake and
Jamal,
and even Jason. You talk about 7-8 years. If I'm with you 7-8 years, you ain't going nowhere.
Right, y'all was damn near married.
7-8 years, you might as well get comfortable. Right. I ain't wasting that much time.
Right.
We gonna be
that
together whether you like it or
that might
not.
have been the thought.
Right.
This will be it.
Right. Jason, it started that way.
Yeah.
This will be an off-air combo.
Yeah.
Shout out to Keith for watching.
Yeah.
Is that the?
That's
Yeah.
the brother.
Shout out Key.
Okay.
Young Bull.
So the original question, was it a feeling or was it a choice? And I think we all agreed that it starts out as a feeling and it ends up as a choice.
No, we didn't all.
I thought we did. Blake, didn't you say we all said that?
I said it's a choice to let yourself feel that.
All right.
And I
that's
agree.
not true.
Thank you for being the Riddler.
Yeah, Enigma
I'm
had
not the Riddler because he twisted my words to agree with him. That's not the Riddler.
Man.
So no, and I'm done. I promise I'm done. So nobody like, you never felt, so every girl that you met that you really wanted to be with, you feel like you had to make a choice every time, bro.
Bro, no,
you didn't.
No.
So you
Okay,
felt
I'm
in a
saying
way and you
that
wanted to be with her.
I'm saying that the science behind it is that you have to like consciously let your guard down first type to be able to take that step. Even if it is like a boom boom, like just quick. That's just how I
check
feel
the
that
box,
it works.
yes or no.
That's how I feel that it works. It's
So then that then opens up the thing of more case specific from more. There's guys who have to get in a place where they have to be able to let guards down, whereas there's some guys that are like, I mean, no, I like her, she likes me, so yeah. You know what I mean? Like, where other guys are a little bit more calculated in making that decision.
Yeah.
Or for me, if I liked her, she liked me, and she was fine, it had to make no choice. That was the choice. You know what I mean? But like you said, you have to stop and say, you know, or go through whatever process to be able to be open to it. So for me, I felt like it was a feeling. I felt like I wanted to be with you, so I was with you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah.
Jay, I'm done with him, bro.
all right. I'll mute him.
Go ahead. Turn that mic.
His damn mic. I'm done with him.
I'm just saying. I felt like I wanted to be with you, so I'm with you. No, I hear what you guys are saying, and I do respect what you guys are saying. You know, I just feel like you're making a big thing out of letting the guard down. Cause I don't think it's not a big project every time. Cause you say you got to make a choice to let your guard down. Our guards aren't always up like that, especially early on. They're not.
Yeah, and
Not
if
early
it is,
on.
there's a therapy session for you
Yeah.
with your name on it.
Early on, junior high, college. I mean, you're not. If you got to let your guard down every time, like Blake said, there's something going on in psychologically.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily, but that's a whole different.
Well, Jamal, you take therapy. You get therapy every
Bro,
week, though.
okay,
so we know
okay.
you got it.
All right. So okay. So you said it's instant, it's a feeling, right?
Initially, yeah.
Okay. So chick walks up, she's bad.
Right.
Yeah.
She is bad,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
And
You know,
then,
which is
okay. All right. Couple scenarios here. Scenario one, she opens her mouth and she's got no teeth.
Okay.
What?
Well,
None at all. None. And she's got terrible fucking gum disease.
Get me a bit.
Okay. Number two happens. She talks like Bad Baby. And that is literally her mentality. But she is bad. Okay.
Baby.
There's two. And then the third one, she's bad. But she's got 7 kids. 7 baby daddies.
I'm gonna ask
So your
you-
instant feeling is you want to be with her.
No.
Because you'd smash.
no, she ain't got no teeth, Jason. I'm not
Bro,
touching her.
you didn't think that though. Originally, she was walking down the fucking sidewalk, and you were like, "Damn, she is fine. What's up, Miss Parker?" You know what I'm saying?
Well, girl, nigga.
Yeah. Hey, she was like, "Hey, I just gave dude down the street a blowjob. He loves it."
Whoa. This graduated to prostitution? Hold on.
Hey, man, you never know. I'm
It
just
sounds
saying.
hey, we keep it in G
Saying
rated.
she's got terrible gum disease and she had no teeth.
Right.
I don't know what it was from.
So I don't understand. That's a turnoff though. I like my girls with gum.
You're saying
Bro,
the
I'm
scenarios that I
saying-
would have chosen not to.
Okay, but yeah, I know, but she's walking. You see her. My point is that
Yeah.
the vision is right there, and that's what you're going off of. That's what's first. I say, hold tight. What's up? What's good?
I'm like that.
Okay.
I'm like that.
So instantly you may smash, but that doesn't mean you're trying to be with somebody.
no, I'm saying if I'm
Because you
sitting
got to
with a girl-
decide.
let's say Shelton is Paula Patton, and we got to
Try
No,
again.
Oh,
Try again.
It's
Can we
nigga
get-
make
Can we get some maturity? Can we
Pause.
have some maturity? here?
Okay,
Let's say this.
something
Say
out.
I'm sitting with Paula Patton. Okay,
Okay.
and we got a class together.
Thank you.
Or as we work together, but in different departments. And I see her. Obviously, I'm like, wow, she's very attractive. I'm gonna try to talk to her and get to know her, and then I feel like that's somebody that I feel like I can see myself with, just off of appearance.
Bet.
And then you had the conversation, and if you still feel that way, then it's off of I feel like I could be with her.
But that's a choice, though.
Only reason I feel like it's not a choice is because
That's so shallow as hell.
it's not. No, I'm saying like, bro.
Hold on. Sheldon, pull back on his shirt a little bit. Pull the back of his shirt.
Yeah, man.
There you
He's
go.
flexing hard as hell right now.
No, I'm not. Listen, that's not shallow. That everybody. Listen, you guys talk.
Over there in the wading pool.
You're attracted to women not by their personality first. You're attracted to them by how they look. We talked about this.
Right, but you being attracted to someone the first time you see them is not me looking at her physical appearance and matching it to what I want and saying I could be with her before I get to know her.
That's a lie.
That's what you just said that you do.
That's a lie. I guarantee you right now, every guy in this room has seen a woman in whatever situation and felt like, oh yeah, I can see that for myself. Absolutely.
that's-
And you're lying if you don't think
But
that.
that depends because, okay, so it's Halle Berry. I know her history. I know her background. I know what she
Right,
sounds
you
like.
already know Halle Berry.
Well, right, like, I mean, just like...
So wait,
Ooh,
what's the
ooh,
question?
hold
What's
on.
the question?
Jay, real
Keith
quick.
had a question.
Keith posed a great question. Can the talking stage last longer than 2 weeks, or are you just bullshitting after that?
After 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Hey, now I know why these Myerson boys move so fast.
No, apparently not Matt.
You said, can the talking...
Apparently not Matt.
Keith said, can the talking
You got one
stage...
brother talking about 2 weeks, and this one said I won't love you for a year.
Yeah.
What the What the hell's going on?
Y'all just be picking up on everybody.
Keith,
man.
Keith, I'm gonna talk to you after this.
Listen, I mean,
We gonna
can it
talk on
last
camera,
longer
brother.
than 2 weeks?
We're gonna send you the Zoom link, brother.
Right.
Right.
You said, can you talk longer than 2 weeks? You should definitely talk longer than 2 weeks. Was that? Am I understanding the question?
Well, I
Yeah,
think
right.
is
I
it
don't-
like
Am I
from
understanding the question?
talking to like dating? Is that what he's saying? Is that the transition? Is that
Yeah,
what,
I guess I need to, because maybe we just older. I need to understand what the talking stage is.
well, how old is Keith?
23.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, how old are
He said or 30.
you guys? Are all
30
like
days.
27,
Damn,
right?
nigga, is it a money back
Everybody gets
guarantee?
He said or
29,
30.
about
He said or 30
29.
days. He said a month. Okay, so an even month. Ooh, this might get me in some trouble. Okay, so you talking to somebody for a month. I'm gonna be honest with you, man.
I know after a month.
You
if I
know,
wanna continue
you know after
talking
a, you know after a month. I listen. You know after.
But you wait.
Like Keith said, I know
You know after
years,
2
I wanna
weeks.
continue.
You know after 2 weeks if you're interested in being involved with this person. You know after 2 weeks. Yeah, I
But
can
it's
say
Hey,
that.
honestly, so to Keith, answer your question.
Maybe not 2 weeks. though.
Answering your question, Keith. The
Maybe
talking
not 2
stage
weeks.
can last as long as you want it to.
Yeah.
But
I think 30 days.
you probably know after a good couple times hanging out with that person.
I'll-
So probably I'd say if you hanging out on a weekly basis, probably
I like
30
30 days.
Yeah,
I like 30 days.
Do you want to do days or you want to do number of times hung out?
Days.
I'd say
Days.
honestly, bro, you go on.
Because
about
more than
After
likely,
5
you gonna
chill
try to-
sessions, I kind of know.
5.
5. Well, that's
He
why.
said-
That's why you
He-
didn't struck out
he-
like you have.
He said, "I'm saying, don't you?"
Oh, here he is.
He said, "I'm saying, don't you feel like men know within a time frame if they're serious about a woman within that time frame?"
Absolutely.
Like,
I think that time frame varies though, because you got people like Jason and Jamal who they got to go through these strenuous psychological hoops before they decide if they want to talk to somebody. And then you got,
I don't need to go
And you
to
got-
mental ward every time I go to somebody.
you know,
man.
they got to have a freaking intervention before they take the girl to dinner. So it is what it is. You know, but
You said you want to go out Thursday? Well, let me call Dr. Finks.
yeah. Let me call Dr. Finster and
hopefully,
find out.
hopefully he's got an opening.
I hope he's got an opening. Oh boy, this is a win.
So I agree.
What a great week.
Yeah, what a great week.
God damn.
So I agree. I think guys know. I think guys know, but I think the time frame varies. Like Jamal said, 5 hangout sessions. I
So
think
it
that's too
takes
short.
you a week and a half to know if you want to date them, but then like 5 years to know if you want to love them.
I was just about to say.
I just 5 years. What are the 5 years? I didn't
No.
say 5 years.
That's what I'm
No, but
saying.
he was exaggerating.
I'm saying it take about a month if I want to be involved. I feel like a month.
But then it takes you a year.
but then it takes
you
me
3 years.
a
takes you a
year.
Yeah, and especially if you're waiting
It takes
till
you a year to
marriage.
figure out if you in the place to decide on loving them.
That's a long time period, man.
You don't even have any experience.
Yeah, and you got to wait until you're married, right?
To what? Live with them?
Oh, whatever.
It's a long.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
Hey,
that's just
man,
a
that's
long
that's just a
dedication
part of it.
period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It is.
That is.
Look, man.
Congratulations on those.
I'm just saying. Thank you, Keith. That's a great question. I'm just saying. I think that you guys are, like, bro. None of you guys are really truly in love in 6 months, 8 months, a year's time. I don't believe that. I could be wrong, but I don't believe that. I know. I'm not gonna say anything, but I know some people in here saying they was and they wasn't. So. Whatever. Do with that what you will. But
well, I've already narrowed it down to who. So
you know, so I'm just saying. You know, did you love your last girlfriend after a year? I mean, before a year?
Yeah.
Before a year?
How long were you even with her?
10 years. They
Yeah,
got
about
kids
20
and everything.
20 years,
Bro, I don't.
bro.
This nigga said they have kids. Shut up.
We're gonna talk about this off air.
That's been your
All
response
right.
for the
Well,
last
speaking
three
of which,
things.
wrap this up. Man.
Yeah. So look, that's all I'm saying. I think it's subjective. That's the best way to answer this. It's subjective. You know, you got to go on your own pace. Sheldon, one day you'll understand kind of what we're talking
Oh, my
about. But you gotta go. You gotta go.
Yeah, man. Well,
You gotta
he
go on
he's
your-
scamming niggas for love.
Yeah, you gotta go on your own pace. Me personally, I think just based off of past experiences, you know, and this is the last thing I promise. There was a girl that I was talking to, and it wasn't until maybe 7 months. You know, it's my fault, but there was certain things that after the 7-8 month period that I didn't even know that for me, I was like, I don't know if I want to deal with, like, I don't know if I can, but I didn't know prior to that.
But that doesn't.
But what I'm saying is this, though. I'm saying that, yeah, those things, like, you don't know a person through and through in a year. You just don't. You just don't.
That doesn't necessarily.
So you can't love somebody you don't really know.
I would argue that you can. You can.
You can love somebody you don't know.
You can absolutely love people you don't know because there's things
Yeah,
about.
that's true, because I love Paula Pat.
Yeah, you don't know the first thing
You don't
about
know
her.
nothing
Right.
about
I do
her.
know enough about her.
You can
You
love
see her movies.
Now,
He's like, I've read all her wiki pages.
Yeah.
I saw all the
Right.
movies.
those particular things that when they come out can make you fall out of love with somebody, but I think you love that person.
I think you're situated with that person.
No, I think you don't have to know everything about somebody to love them. That's just point blank period. But those things the red flags, the warning things, they're not all gonna come out, bro. You might not find out some red flags till 5-10 years in.
Which is why you can't say you love somebody
Until
before
10
a year.
In 10 years.
Before a year. You just said red
I'm
flags
saying-
may not jump out for 5-10 years.
I'm saying
so
the
how you
red-
gonna say you love them before a year?
Bro, because the red flags can come out. They can come out 30 years from now, 40 years from now,
Okay,
20
well,
years
you're
from
dealing
now.
with somebody
But
that
I'm
got
saying- no,
skeletons
But
40 years into it.
I'm saying that there's certain triggers, bro. Just like Jamal was like, you need to live with somebody before you figure out
Yeah,
if
that's
you love them, or if you figure out if you want to be with them long term, because certain things pop up. I guarantee you live together, you get married, you live with somebody, some things pop up, and,
That could happen.
it'd be them little things
What's
that
your
drive
time
people
frame?
apart. Yeah.
With your time frame,
What about it?
if you said about 2 years before you can tell someone you can tell
No,
somebody they
I
love
said
you?
after a year.
Okay. What happens after that year if things pop up? Like then what?
What you mean in what?
Like if you tell somebody that person that you love them, but then things come up in a relationship.
Yeah,
Wow.
bro. You're not gonna run through all them.
You're not
things.
gonna
But what
run-
I'm saying,
you're not-
okay, but what I'm saying is, what kind of things are we talking about come up though?
I don't know what.
If we
things it
talking
could
about
be.
extreme stuff,
I don't
like
know.
she talked about her name Brad now, then yeah, it's different. But I'm saying like what stuff are we talking about for that to take place? Like
I'm
Just
saying,
like her living
I'm
situation.
saying that there's
Living
always
with her.
flags can always come up.
absolutely, there's red
So
flags,
but
and
that
everything.
doesn't necessarily mean that you didn't love them.
So then that becomes an argument of infatuation versus love. I think more people are infatuated than they are in love. Because I think if you're in love with somebody, it's not.
Okay,
People wouldn't be falling out of love so easily
So
if they were in love with
So
someone.
you've never been in love.
I have.
Okay, so but the thing is though is that
I
every
have.
relationship you're single, right?
And she left me for Robin Thicke.
Every you're single, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So that means every relationship you've been in, there's been a red flag that came up that wasn't enough to make you cause to end the relationship.
You said the last part again.
You're single.
Sure.
You've had girlfriends.
Absolutely.
You've been in love.
Once.
And every single time that you've been in love, just in case this once, there was something that caused you to end the relationship, or else you'd still be in that.
Yeah, but I didn't
That's a
love
red
you.
flag.
Yeah, but
That's a red flag. Even in the relationship you've been in love with, you're not with that person anymore.
Right.
There was a red flag. There was
Not
something. There was something that manifested that you could not take anymore.
No.
Then why aren't you with them?
Because like you said, just because I love them doesn't mean that they feel the same way. Not that she didn't.
So
But
there
I'm
was a
saying
flag.
the reason is not always a red flag. The reason can be growing apart. The reason could be maturity. You can have love. You can love someone that it didn't work out with. You see what I'm? Like, you can.
Okay, so regardless,
You can love someone it didn't work out with. It
You're
doesn't
not
have
with-
to have been some major red flag.
So regardless, you're not with that person.
Sure, I'm not. So what are you asking me?
I'm saying that because of those things, there was something that caused y'all to go like these.
Sure,
That's a flag.
sure.
You can't love somebody. According to you, can't love somebody until you've seen all their flags.
I didn't say that. I just said you can't love.
You did
Okay,
say-
then
didn't you say that?
Nah, you
You did say that.
Let me
You did say
restate.
I
that.
mean,
Let me-
basically.
Let me restate because, like I said, you got two guys up here that go through emotional roller coasters to just get a coffee date. So let me just rephrase. Let me rephrase. I think you don't have to see all their red flags to say that to feel like you love them, but I do think that there is a period of time of which I think is too soon to know that you love them. I'll say that. And for me, I think if you're saying that you love them, for me, before a year's time, I don't think you're truly in love. I don't think you can love somebody in 6 months.
And we disagree. So
Yeah, that's it.
Now,
and
now
Jamal,
if
you've had 12 relationships.
if
So.
you're asking me,
So clearly you're the poster boy.
if you're asking me,
You loved everybody. Look how that turned out for
listen,
you.
Drake, just because somebody broke your heart, now you
No,
hate
I'm
women,
good.
Don't come at me.
I'm like George Clooney. I'm just not gonna
Yeah,
get married.
now if he is married,
Yeah, 60 at 60. At 60.
anyway, and his wife is.
All right, man. Let's.
And she's bad, and I guarantee you, he had to make that hard of a choice. Guarantee you, he felt that one.
Anyway, if you're asking me something like, should you get married after a year, then that's a totally different answer. But I think you can be in love with somebody after a year. Now, them flags are gonna say if you stay in love with that person.
Before, didn't I say before though?
I mean, bro,
Before a year?
Didn't I say before a year was too soon to know if you love somebody?
What? A year's
You can know.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm saying, is that unrealistic? Before a year.
I think it's a case by case. Apparently, it takes you 10. Apparently, it takes
Yeah.
Jamal 6 weeks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just,
Jamal loves her after she says, "Yeah, sure, I'll go to Cece's Pizza with you."
Wow.
Oh man,
Hey guys, I think I love her.
we had unlimited pizza and
Yeah.
pop
And breadsticks and
the brownie.
and she let me pick out a video game for later.
yeah.
She even said she'll pay.
Boy, oh boy, I sure do love her.
Yeah, after one date at Cece's.
Hey man, wrap this up, bro. We ain't finna end every podcast coming at me.
Looks like we are. That's the end of our show.
Don't forget
Hey,
hashtag hairline and hashtag CC's Pizza.
Hashtag hairline, hashtag scam gang.
Hashtag
Next week,
scam
Sheldon's
gang.
going to teach you how to turn 300
No,
into 3,000.
Right. Tune in for next week.
Actually, just stay tuned.
Oh,
Stay tuned. He'll be sending you a message any minute.
Yeah.
Keith has one more question.
If you can get your dead relative's social security number, I'll tell you how
Okay,
to.
Keith has one more question. He said, "Can you learn to love someone?" Keith, you hitting us with some bombs tonight, bro. All right.
Yeah, man. Damn. Save
No,
something
no,
next
those are
week,
good.
young
And
blood.
they're all good. They're
well,
all good,
hold on.
too.
This could be a deep dive, man.
I know.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Let's give a short answer.
Well, no,
Let's give a short answer.
I like the question, but yeah, I mean, we could
I
deep
mean,
dive.
shoot,
we could
we-
deep dive it next episode, or if you want to deep dive it tonight, that's your call. You guys.
Like,
look,
y'all
we
want
are-
to go out of
Look,
my
we
house?
early. People, we early enough in this thing where it don't matter. So look, can you learn to love somebody? I think if you have to learn to love them.
Oh, he had part 2.
What's the part 2? If you may not be totally in love, right? Yeah, that's
Well,
what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I really feel like you could learn to love somebody. I mean, only if you're maturing yourself. If you're growing through this relationship and shit's happening, red flags are coming up, or you decide you're gonna work this out or whatever, and it continues to build, then I would say that you're learning to love somebody.
Yeah, I mean, plus, I mean, I guess I need to understand what he means by that,
I
because
think
I feel
he's
like
saying.
every day you're learning
I think he's
to
saying
love someone
like,
a little more.
and correct me if I'm wrong, Keith, but I think he's saying if you know someone, you may be friends, you feel like this person would probably be good for me under the right circumstances. They love me, I just don't love them. But can you get to a place where you eventually learn to love them and then be with them? Is what I think he's asking.
Oh.
I think you can. I think
can.
that's where I think it's a choice though.
I think.
That's why I think that loving them
Well,
is a
in
choice.
that instance, yes.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's a choice.
All right. So there's this
Because you don't necessarily feel
Because you're making a choice
like
to
love, like you
them.
don't feel that to love them. Otherwise, you would have.
Right.
So
Okay.
you're making a choice to learn to love them.
Right, right.
So
That's
that's
a
you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So that would be the choice
That's the
part
choice
of it.
part.
So there's a psychology principle called the halo effect.
Here we go with this.
God damn, Webster.
Fucking Dr. Phil over here.
All right.
Or Love
all
Line
right.
with Blake.
My bad. I got degrees. Don't ever get mad at me,
Jeez,
for having
man.
degrees. All right. Anyway, all I'm saying.
The mouse rang the bell for the cheese. Dang, that's all we
Yeah,
need to know.
damn. Come on,
Hey.
bitch.
Go ahead.
Hey. My
Goodness.
bad. I can't believe I'm getting attacked for being the
Okay,
smartest
go
nigga
ahead.
in the room. That's crazy. Anyway,
Single niggas giving relationship advice. Go ahead.
It's okay.
Okay, so a
sorry,
study you heard.
The blaze in me is just like kicking in. All right, so halo effect, right? So the more time you spend around somebody, the more you like them, right? So the thing is, that's just on average, right? If you spend time around people, eventually you're gonna find a common denominator. You're gonna eventually like this person. It doesn't matter if it's like Obama or Hitler, right? Like you're gonna find something you're gonna like about that person enough to want to spend time with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, if you gotta do that with somebody, if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're like, yo, I don't like this person, but maybe we'll learn to like them, you're wasting that person's time. You might eventually like them, but there's a chance you might not.
So you're saying if you have to learn to love somebody, that's not the person for you.
Yeah. I mean, if you're sitting there like, yeah, I don't know, bro. This ain't really me. Or I'm only going to be with her for a summer.
But can it be because you don't... Can it be because you don't truly know who you are in that capacity yet?
Well,
like
yeah.
there's girls that I would have felt like I gotta learn to love her back then, but I feel like today, having that individual, it wouldn't be like that, and I would be like, yeah, I would love a person like that.
So, but you didn't love
But
them.
back then, though, I didn't because I didn't really know. I didn't know anything. You see what I'm saying? I wasn't mature enough
So
to
she was
understand what
older,
I
huh?
needed.
So she was an older woman, huh?
But you're still you're still wasting that person's time.
In the
Jason
moment.
said we've been here.
You're still wasting that person's time.
We know these
his
rules.
question was, can you learn to love somebody? And I think you can. I think you
I think
can.
you can learn to appreciate people after the fact.
I think you can learn to love them, and if you
I
learn to
don't-
love them, that means that's just the construct of your relationship. You had to learn to love them, but you can.
I don't think
you
you
can
should
learn
be
to
in-
do
I don't
anything.
think you should be in a relationship with somebody you need to learn to love. It's just that.
I
Like,
mean,
you know what I mean?
Jay-Z and Beyonce had probably had to learn to love each
I
other.
don't think they should. I mean, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's 3 albums later.
Yeah,
Like,
I know, right?
and they've been together for 15 years.
Yeah.
And they're, you know what I mean? So like, and he's just now saying, "I learned to love you" after year 15, and that's Beyonce. You know what I'm
I'm not
saying?
a fan of Beyonce, so I understand.
You know
Jay.
what I'm
either. Yeah.
I get it, Jay. But no, yeah, I mean, but I think it's case specific. I think you can learn to love somebody. I think you just have to change your perspective. You have to just change your perspective and understand. Listen, this is what I need. What maybe I want, maybe is not, or has not proven to be beneficial for me. So
But
I'm learning to love this person that I know is going to be good for me.
But why would you want to be with somebody that, okay, from the other perspective, why would you want to be with somebody to be with you if they're not your first option? Like if your girl's like, man, I really want this person, but you know that person's not good for me, so I'm just gonna stick with Matt. You're gonna be
That's-
like, what the
that's-
heck?
that's
I'm gonna be like,
different,
you
though.
can go ahead, bounce, and find him and do
Yeah.
whatever you got to do, and then you know what I'm saying.
But you make it sound like I think what he's saying and what you're saying is, like you're saying that all else has failed, and I'm gonna just be with this nigga, I guess. He's not saying that. He's saying, can your feelings evolve into loving someone that maybe you didn't before? And I think the answer
So I
is
guess,
yeah.
But my thing is, you got to ask yourself, why are you there in the first place?
Before or when you've learned
Well,
to
like
love
if
them.
you're dating this person and you're like, well, I might learn to love them. Like, why are you dating them in the first place? That's. What
I
you
mean,
gotta
there's
ask
multiple
yourself.
kinds of love.
Cheyenne
too, though.
shrank.
Oh, it's one of my.
Cheyenne, what did she say? Read what she said.
She said,
Who?
"Well, yeah, because at point you
Read
are."
to the mic, son. Read to the mic. son.
Shut up.
Yeah.
But my name is Floyd
Chill.
Mayweather.
She's like, well, yeah, because at that point you are dating someone else's future wife or husband. Just walk away if you have to learn to love them.
That's what I'm talking about.
I-
You wasting that person's time, bro. Because there's a chance that you might not love them.
But
And
here's
if you
the-
know that you don't love them, why
Wait,
waste your
Sheldon.
time?
I didn't hear what the young lady. What did she say?
Basically, she just said, "Move on if you got to learn to love them because you're taking somebody else's husband or wife away. Basically, that's gonna love them on
mean,
spot.
That's selfish.
But
That's,
this is what I'm saying. Here's the thing: newsflash.
I mean, not everybody
there's
gets married
Millions
either,
of people who have learned to
I ain't-
love
I
their
ain't holding
spouse, whether it been a business decision, whether it had been whatever.
okay, but I'm saying why?
How many high school sweethearts do you think these pro athletes didn't love back then? But
But-
because of certain reasons, they went back to and decided to be with them and had to learn to love them.
She keep forgiving me when I cheat on her. I think she the one.
I'm just
Hey
saying.
man. Hey, I ain't gonna say
Jason-
no names, but we know a few of those.
Jason's one of the more level-headed in the room.
All of them. I know-
Does
know
that
a
make
lot of them.
sense, Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can learn to love. Like, yes, you can. You can. The answer was, can you? Yes is the answer.
I think that comes back to like the choice or the feeling thing. That was their choice, you know. And I don't know. I don't know. I just think I think you can learn to love somebody.
Yeah.
I think there's certain things that are there already, but
yes.
for you to be able to develop a certain feeling, I think you can.
100%. And I think what you just said was perfect. There was already raw materials for you to be able to anyway. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna learn to love somebody that you have absolutely no interest in loving ever. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
The raw materials, the person that's loving you is a sucker for loving you. And
no. What that is what I feel like looking at this is the looks weren't there, so your first thought wasn't to approach.
Yeah.
But then you see morals and
personality,
all these other things that come out that, well, you know, she's got a good personality when you're talking to your boys, right? You know, Sheldon, whatever, you know. Well, just like, you know, then you have.
Damn, Jason.
Then you. I'm sorry. Then you have a 5 or a 4. And then she, because of her personality, she's now a.
Bro, but my thing is like, if you have to look at somebody and that person's
you're shallow.
4 or 5, how am I shallow? I'm arguing against being shallow. I'm saying if you have to look at that person and that person is a 4 or 5 to you, then.
But like Jason just said it. They were not what you wanted at that point in your life.
So don't be with them.
Right, and you didn't. But then eventually you realize that who they were and what they offer is what you need, and you decide, I can love this person.
All right, man. Whatever.
There's nothing wrong with that.
All right, man.
100% agreement.
So there's nothing wrong with that.
All right, man.
Yep.
You know, if I can't, if I got to tell a girl I love her after we went to Chuck E. Cheese for a date, then you can learn to love somebody. Jeez. But you guys got to break that down for me next show.
Yeah.
How y'all do that so quick? How y'all fall in love so quick?
I don't think a year is too quick. But.
Sheldon, that requires. Never mind. Go ahead.
Shut up.
Close the show, man.
Shut up, Jamal.
All right, listen. In the Regulation Podcast, episode 9. Thank y'all for being in the comments tonight.
Hey,
that made
happy
the show.
International Women's Day. Love y'all. Love you, mama.
Love you,
Shout out to
mama.
all the women out there.
I'll always love my mama.
Hey.